Hello, and welcome to this collective and timeless reading. This is E-Star Tarot, and today we're going to be doing a reading to see what is changing for you right now. What is coming in as a change for you in your life? So we're going to ask our ancestors, spirit guides, and guardian angels to deliver us a message so that we can see what's coming ahead of us. What is coming in as a change, or what is changing currently? Oh, that was it. Memories. Oh, that's interesting, because memories don't usually change, right? They're usually kind of static, but maybe this is about your perception of those memories. Yeah. Maybe you're going to be looking at the past and reevaluating your memories of what happened to you in the past. That's interesting. But I also get the sense that this is about a past life. Like past life memories are coming in that are going to change how you perceive your reality, how you look at things, because of the perspective shift that gives you. I want to get 3 cards here though to get a full picture. So I'm going to draw some more cards here. There we go. Motivation. Okay, so I think this shift is going to give you a lot of motivation for sure. And look, it's actually the same butterfly. Isn't that interesting? So they're both monarchs. Maybe monarchs are a special butterfly to you, but yeah. So I think like maybe there's been some past life baggage that you've been carrying for a long time, and that's actually been part of your blockages right now. What's keeping you back? What's keeping you unmotivated? Because you're stuck in the past. And it doesn't have to even be a past life. It could be the past life, like a past version of yourself that was many years ago, that's coming through now. And sometimes we go back to old memories and we reassess what happened to us, and then we realize that, hey, wait a minute, that wasn't how I thought it was at that time. Sometimes it can even make us really angry, because we can realize how we were wronged in a situation and how we didn't see it that way at the time, and we blamed ourselves, or we didn't take action to stand up for ourselves. And that can be a really frustrating thing, and there can be a lot of grief with that, in fact. So just be gentle with yourself if a lot of memories are coming up for you right now. But I think ultimately this is a really good thing, because you reprocessing all of this, all these memories, are what is giving you the new motivation in your life. And maybe it's even like motivation from like those frustrated emotions. Like maybe you're going to feel like, because sometimes anger is healthy. Sometimes anger can motivate us, right? It can make us feel like we want to try really hard to, I don't want to say get back at somebody, but like, sometimes when someone like, really pisses us off, right? We can channel that. We can choose to get really frustrated and angry and cry, however we process, or, we can choose to take that energy and push it into, being really successful at someone, like, what's that saying about the best revenge is living a happy life, something like that, or living a successful, happy life. Yeah, it's something like that. It's that kind of energy where you really decide that the way that you, get back at that person. Well, it's not about getting back at a person. It's more about, how do I want to use this energy? Do I want to use it to be frustrated and angry, or do I want to use it to enhance my life? Put it into something productive, constructive. And I just heard that these aren't the cards, so I'm not going to take them. I guess not. They just flipped over by accident. So I'll try again, because I think it's just one more card, they said. So, there it is. Okay. Family changes. Okay. So maybe this is something to do with family. Memories with family, actually. I'm getting really warm all of a sudden, like my cheeks are getting hot. That's so strange. I've got a sweater on, but you know, I just suddenly am, it's like I'm flushed. Did your family ever embarrass you or like make you like turn red or like get so angry you turned red? Because that's sort of like the feeling I'm getting right now. Yeah. Whew. So it seems like maybe you had some, there's like humiliation. That's what the word I'm hearing, humiliation. Did your family ever like make fun of you or humiliate you or kind of make you the butt of the joke all the time? Because that's sort of what I'm getting a feeling about. Yeah, it's like you're remembering the past differently and seeing that, you know, because sometimes we can think people are like, we can't see how people were actually being nasty to us sometimes. I know that sounds strange, but you know, sometimes, you know, love can blind us to other people and their true intentions. You know, and sometimes we think our family has our back, but actually they're, you know, they like we think they're complimenting us, but sometimes it's like a backhanded compliment actually. And it's only when we look back and reassess what was said that we're like, actually, that's not what they meant. They meant this. They meant something really mean there when they said that to me. And that might be what's going on. Maybe you're looking back at those memories with your family and seeing that they actually didn't treat you very nicely. They didn't treat you well. They were actually trying to put you down, try to keep your spirit down. Ooh. Mm. Makes me annoyed. Yeah, because it's not quite the monarch, but it's an orange butterfly like the monarch there. And then there's this other butterfly that's almost like trying to outshine it. Yeah, it's like your family's trying to outshine you by making you seem foolish by the way they commented about you or tried to talk meanly about you in a way that was like it's like covert narcissism. It's like they were doing things in such a subtle and manipulative way, saying things in a manipulative way that it seemed like they were on your side or had your back, but actually they were making fun of you. Oof. And it's like those memories are coming back to you and you're going, oh my God, they were always trying to harm me or be hurtful. And they were never good people. They were never nice people to me. I can't believe this. Like, you're so stunned by this. And it's really flooring you. But, you know, and that's really hard to face because it's, you know, there's grief with that. It hurts to realize, you know, people that should have been there for us, that should have been our greatest protectors, and the people that loved us the most were actually, you know, our enemies. You know, it's something you have to grieve, something you have to feel. But there is a gift there by knowing. Even though it's painful, it's better to know than to go on not knowing, right? And letting those people have access to us and access to our life where they can cause us more harm, right? So it gives us new perspective. It gives us new motivation to conduct ourselves differently in our lives, right? So you can move forward with this knowledge, even though it's painful, and move into a better life where, you know, you have better awareness, better insight into how people act around you and what it truly means, you know, because, you know, there's something learned there, right? If you didn't understand that behavior before, it was there to teach you how to see that in others, because you needed to know that in order to move on to this next phase of life. You needed to know how to read people, essentially, so that, you know, in the future when, you know, the stakes are higher, you don't meet people that or you don't trust people or let people into your life that don't have good intentions for you. Yeah. All right, let's get a Woodland Warden card. It's my new animal deck and I love it, and I love it very much. What's that quote? This is my It's a quote from a comedian, I think. What's her name? Ali Wong. This is what was it? She had a miscarriage and her husband got her a bike or something. And she just said it in such a funny way. I'm not at all making fun of miscarriages, but that's what I'm saying. But she goes, "This is my miscarriage bike, and I love it very much. Thank you." So, I don't know. Maybe there's something there for you. Like maybe you're going to maybe that's how you have to look at your wound. Like maybe with your family, like, you know, this is my family wound, but or like the things that are going to come in for you almost like as compensation for this are going to, yeah, it's almost like a compensation for that, going through that hard thing. You're going to get something new, but let me just confirm that actually. I think I'm getting ahead of myself. Yeah, sometimes the messages are all over the place, so, and they come in funny ways. Sometimes it's like quotes from things or songs or it's like echolalia up in here. Not getting any cards popping out. Did I get the wrong deck? No. Okay, here it is. The Bat and the Hellebore. Hellebore? I'm not sure how you say that. Hellebore. I'm going to say Hellebore. Inviting. Okay, and I'm supposed to get two, I guess, so I'm going to get one more. Oh, here we go. That was quick. The Moth and Eucalyptus. An ending. Whoa, and there's a skull on that moth. Do you see that? It's like, so that emblem of death right there. This is so interesting because bats eat moths, right? They hunt them, especially moths, because moths are out at night, and so are bats. They're both night creatures. Ah, it's interesting. Yeah. Oh, and it's intuition. What did I say? I said something else there. Intuition and an ending. Yeah, so I'm not going to even look at the book right now because I think I already know what the message is here. Basically, you don't have exact confirmation about this, but you're using your intuition more, and your intuition is telling you about these things, about this. It's almost like a betrayal going on with your family, and you know, honestly, looking back on memories and seeing that they really harmed you, that is a betrayal, right? And because you're trusting your intuition more, you're able to see those patterns more, and you're able to catch them, I think, more in the act. You're able to see the patterns of manipulation and control. And this is going to bring about an ending with those relationships, some of those relationships. I don't know if it's going to be all the relationships, but you might end up in a situation where you're no contact. You know, you'd use your discretion, but, and you know, we had the candle went out there, right? So it was like ending. Candles always seem to go out in a timely way, right? Yeah. You know, nothing in life is permanent. Everything is always changing. Everything is always shifting for specific reasons. When you complete a phase of life, when you complete a lesson, you move on to the next one. And I think that's what's happening with you. You're ready for the next lesson. Well, I guess they want me to get one more card here. One more. Stagnation, the lizard and the pitcher plant. Stagnation. What's going on there? I might look in the book for that one. But it might be that you're delaying this because you feel maybe some sense of obligation to your family, or you feel like you can't fully let go, or you're just not facing it. Like you don't want to see it, even though your intuition is already telling you, you know, this is what's going on. It's like your family, you have a family of bats and you're the moth. And all your life you've been kind of hunted and chased by them and stressed out by them because they viewed you as prey. And that can happen. You can be prey to people in a social, emotional, sense. Like you can be mentally vulnerable to people, almost like they were like you were disabled in some way and they took advantage of that. I don't know why that's coming through, but it's like you had some sort of disadvantage and they took advantage of that to make you feel down about yourself or made you feel less than. Yeah. Gets me angry. Yeah, the pitcher plant is a carnivore too. That's interesting. So it's like eating your own, right? It's like a family that ate their own. Ugh. Some families are just so toxic, right? It's funny because this is there's a big it doesn't say death here, but there is a lot of imagery for death and ending in a skull, right? And here it talks about the lizard might fall vulnerable to the pitcher plant. And so there's this essence of death and rebirth to the lizard. So again, we have a rebirth going on here, a coming out of danger. You were preyed upon, but you're coming out of that by realizing the danger. Yeah. Yeah, because it drops its tail, eh? The lizard can drop its tail when it's in danger and escape because the predator grabs onto the tail and thinks it's got the lizard, but the lizard's actually scampered off. That's interesting. Maybe you have to do something similar in your life with your family. Like let them chase after something like a false trail or false tail while you make your getaway. Yeah. But it notes that it's never quite the same after. Like the tail will never be quite the same. And maybe that's something about you. Like but it's true, right? Like we're never the same after we go through something like that. We're never the same. Once we learn a lesson, we'll always be different, and that's a good thing. It's a good thing that we're different because the person that we were before was someone who was vulnerable and got taken advantage of, someone who needed to learn certain ways to defend themselves, needed to have knowledge of the world and how to survive, right? It doesn't feel very nice, but that's part of the earth lesson. You come here to learn. Yeah. And there's a feeling of like stuckness, like you're stuck under the water here, but the lizard is reminding you that you can shed and regrow. You can change, you can shift. Yeah. But it's mostly you have to leave something behind, right, to do that. He had to leave his tail behind. So, maybe you have to let go of because, memories are always mixed, right? There's good memories mixed in with the bad. And you might have to let go of some of those good memories that might be holding you back because of nostalgia or, feelings of loyalty. That might be part of this. You might have to learn to grieve and let go. Yeah, let's get Seasons of the Witch. Ostera deck. Yeah. Something here for you. So you're going to change and you're going to shift into being this person that can let go, that can accept these truths about your family that maybe you were hiding from, and now you're trying to become someone new who isn't dependent on them, because maybe there was some codependency going on that made it hard to leave. Chicks. Yeah, you're like a chick who's leaving the nest. There is no greater power than the light than the light that lives on through acts inspired by the heart. Verse 6. Yeah. Feels like you... Actually, I think I'll put this... It's always a game where to go. I'm going to slip you right in here, actually. There we go. Yeah, you feel like you're a chick leaving the nest, but actually you're fully grown. You're someone who is ready to leave, and you've been ready to leave for a while. It's just been something that's been holding you back. Yeah. Maybe we should get a card to see what's been holding you back. I think I've already said it. It's nostalgia and the feeling of, can I, cut loose? Can I lose my tail? But let's just take a look. What's been holding you back from that? Oh, there we go. Nothing is yet set in stone. Mutable moon. I think with this, you have trouble, making final decisions, to set things in stone, to make things permanent. You want to keep things mutable. You want to keep things always able to, like, you always want to keep access to something, even though you know it's bad for you. Yeah, it's like you always want to have options with those people. But, you're being guided to, cut the cord, let loose. But you're hesitating. You're not letting yourself do it. You want to keep it, the connection, even though it's bad for you. Maybe because you feel like you can't stand on your own. Maybe because you feel like, well, what if this happens or what if that happens? I might need someone to depend on. But the thing is, when the universe takes something away, or when we let something go, I should say, the universe always provides something to fill the void. The energy will always, nothing is ever destroyed. Everything always continues on. So energy will fill that void. So if you let someone go, someone new will come in. And often it's something better, something more suited to ourselves. Justice, yeah. This is divine justice. This is justice for everything you went through. And don't feel bad. Don't feel bad if, people have, some hurt feelings or there's some tears or what have you. It's not for you to make people feel better about their mistakes, right? That's not how this works. You're not supposed to always make people feel comfortable. People have made you feel very uncomfortable, and that's not right. People have hurt you and taken advantage of your kindness. So what needs to happen here is divine balance, divine karma. You shouldn't stand in the way of people's karma. It's not for you to do. It's not your decision. And you shouldn't have to feel bad for people, even if they try to make you feel bad, like it's your fault or they should have sympathy. Those kinds of people are always good at playing the victim, right? Here, I got one more card here. King of Cups. Yeah, that's you. Look at this whale coming out. It's like you have mastered your emotions by learning how to understand, some of the worst, most toxic people that happen to be family. You've learned how, you went through a trial by fire, even though this is very water themed. Water cups is emotions, so that makes sense, right? But, oh, and yeah, we have the lizard underwater, right? Maybe you were drowning in emotion before, but now you come to the surface, right? You're like a whale breaking through the water, getting a breath of fresh air. Yeah, that's what's going on now. You're learning how to release it, and that's, reviving you. This is the rebirth. You're changing who you are because you're not letting those toxic connections control you or hold you back. And this is what you were supposed to do. You're supposed to become the master. Become, like a guru of, manipulative people, really. It's like you had to learn these lessons so that you could help others going through a similar situation. Yeah, you were meant to do this, to help the world. Maybe you'll end up being in counseling, or you'll be someone who, even just has a friend that goes through something similar where that you can help them, see that what they're going through isn't right either, and that they need to stand up for themselves, or they need to let go of those people. There's many hundreds of millions of ways we can help people through our own experience and knowledge. And I think that's what this whole the point of this was. I was thinking 2 cards, and here's 2 cards. So let's see. Yeah, 10 of Wands and High Priestess. Yeah, because we had intuition here, and you were using your intuition to see these patterns and to realize, and trust your intuition too, right? Because you realized, because I think what happened was there was a lot of gaslighting going on here. Oh, the other candle went out here. Yeah, definitely some endings going on. You're being gaslit a lot about what you were experiencing, and that made you have self-doubt. But you're learning to reconnect with that intuition, and now you realize how correct you were, how good your intuition actually was. And because of that, you know how to help others and also to see the patterns. And you might even feel a bit responsible for like others as well as yourself. Like you might feel like you have to take all the responsibility on for that. Or they made you feel responsible. That's what it was. They made you feel so responsible for everything. If someone had a bad day, if, things went wrong with, what they were doing, it was somehow always your fault. Or if there was a disagreement between you, it was always your fault, not they didn't participate in it even though they did. Ooh. So now you see everything clearly. Now you see the truth. And you're like, what the heck? These people were damn liars. So, it's a frustrating realization to have, because you're like, why didn't I see it sooner? But don't tell yourself that, because it's so hard to see these things when we're in it. It's so difficult. And people that are like that, they know how to manipulate others. They know how to be tricky like that, and how to gaslight. And you know what? It's not clever. That's just my personal opinion, but it's not clever. It's just evil. I'd love to say that to some people, but, like to their face. But, some things are better not left as to not be a confrontation about. But honestly, I think, it just shows how evil you can be if you can do stuff like that, right? It doesn't show you that you're clever. Ooh, evil's such a strong word. I'm not sure why that's coming out. Maybe you're feeling that way. Like you're looking at them in such a new light that you're like, man, those people were evil. Those people were awful to me. And to kind of an extent they were. But a lot of people, hurt people. It's the wounded people that are the most able to do those things, but they also need the most love as well. So it's sort of like, more hate isn't the answer, but that doesn't mean you have to be the source of their love, right? It's more your job to love yourself and to move on and to seek a life that you want to be proud of and happy with that doesn't include them. Because if they're doing those kinds of things to you, manipulating you, or embarrassing you, or trying to humiliate you, or whatever it is that, puts themselves up on a pedestal and makes themselves feel better, you don't have to stand for that, and you don't have to be in their lives. You can walk away. But, it helps to know that they're doing this from a wounded place. And it's not that you have to forgive them. You have to forgive yourself and decide, this isn't going to rule my life anymore. I'm not going to think about this anymore. I'm not going to ruminate all day on this. I'm just going to get motivated to make my life as good as possible. And, make it the life I want that is free of their control. Yeah. Yeah, they put so much on you that wasn't yours to carry. It wasn't your job to carry it. And now you are free. Now you're becoming the high priestess because you're learning how to trust your own intuition again. Because, when you're told things like that by other people, this is your fault, you did this, you did that, it makes you just distrust yourself, because you think, well, it makes you think, was I the one in the wrong? Did I do that? Oh, maybe I did. Oh, and then suddenly you're questioning yourself all the time, and it disconnects you from your intuition, which told you, no, I was right. This was what I said it was. Our feelings are there for a reason. So you're going to learn to reconnect with that and use it to your advantage to keep you safe. You're going to trust now. And I think you are trusting your intuition, and it's going to keep you, one step ahead of the game. You're not going to fall for their tricks. And I never mentioned it at the beginning, but, I brought in a purple crystal today. So, and that really aligns with intuition, doesn't it? Because it's like the third eye, right? Our brow chakra. That's where we get our insights. Those little thoughts that come in, and it's like that feeling that tells us this isn't right or something's wrong here. Listen to it, because it's there for a reason. We also have our little bear totem here. And I always think about love with the bear, but standing up for ourselves with love. So, something like that is what you need to do. You need to stand up with love, because confrontation never resolves things. You have to speak your truth with love and walk away proudly. That's the way to defeat these kinds of, manipulative people. Yeah. Okay, I think that's the end of the reading. So I think we're going to end it there. Thank you for staying to the end, and I really hope that this was helpful. Leave a like and subscribe if you so choose, and leave a comment if you feel inclined to share your story. I love to hear comments and see how things resonate with people. And I wish you luck with all of this. You're going to do great. So, love yourself and stand up for yourself, and everything will flow from there. All right, take care.